Hey subscribers, welcome to a video of last week's narrative battle. It wasn't a battle, just basically following the storyline on from the previous weeks. So I'm just going to show you where I'm at right now. This is the board that I used last week. Now all our characters over here have converged out the front of this dungeon cavern section. So they've walked through this dungeon area here, this cavern area, and they come through here, nice little lanterns on the side there, coming through here, and then they come across the castle. Myth Drea'Voor looms in front of them. So that's Myth Drea'Voor there. Now the idea is they go into this castle, go into there, and then work their way down into the cavern, the dungeon in there. So this is where they start that process. So last week we would have seen the group come through this little canyon section here, and there's this group of skeletons and things up here throwing bodies. I think I'm going to throw bodies down this grate. The idea is these little grates sort of make their way down into the bowels of the world and feed the ancients who are sleeping below. So I haven't actually worked things out with the detail just yet, but there's some zombies there who they'll encounter. Then there's two ways in to the castle, over that gate there or through this little side entrance over here. So I'll work out what happens with that. I'll just continue this video as I work my way through the video, so just stay tuned. Okay, so our group of adventurers have walked through this little cave section here and moved up to see the castle, I should say, in front of them, and around the place there are these skeletons. One there. There's various other skeletons around the place. I'll involve them later. So the idea is they come here. Yes, we've achieved our goal. We've reached the castle area. Skeleton charges them, tries to get into combat and take them out. So I'm just working my way through this at the moment, and no doubt these guys are going to vaporize that skeleton right there. So I will then move them off and do something else with them. Choose whether I go down that canyon, that pathway I should say, over there, or this little bridge here. So I'll decide as I go. I'll just make these short videos in between. Alright, keep posted. Okay, so the group took on those two skeletons. One of the skeletons was smashed into that brazier just there, which was knocked over. These guys then decided, they said they could go up the front or head up the side. Decided to go left and moved off. We're up to here now. So at this stage I plan on collating or putting these skeletons together and come down and assault this group. And I believe there's one character who's going to be killed at this stage, which is the one at the front. And the rest will survive, because that's our main crew. This guy's an extra and expendable. So that's the plan. Basically they'll come down, assault these guys here, then they'll creep off across that bridge, and I'll work out what we're going to do from there. But obviously we're trying to get into here. So that's what we're up to now. We'll see what happens in a second. Okay, so at this stage the group moved their way from here down to here. All these zombies that were up here came down here and came into combat with this group, and we had our first casualty. Now I didn't even give that guy a name, I don't think, but he's now out of the group. So they turned tail and ran that way. And now I'll just work on the next story segment. So what I really do is I just have some broad parameters. I really want to get these guys into this building here, and I'm just sort of working it out pretty much as I go, seeing how the story takes me as I'm doing each turn. So next I'm thinking I might get the cart full of bodies to come and pick up the dead custodies there and maybe stuff him into the drain there. Food for the ancients. Right, the storyline continues, and we had this cart here followed by some skellos. They just basically meandered their way all the way across this bridge here, came around here, picked up the corpse of this custodies over here, and basically carted him up the hill and threw him down the drain, as you do. So he's now food for the ancients. So next I'll move back to our main group over here. Don't know whether to get involved with that guy just yet or not, but we're basically going to make our way right through the front door into the castle and start our Myth Drea'Voor dungeon crawl. So after this I'll move on to another stop motion video in a different area, but that's really going to probably sum up this battle here, just these guys basically moving on into there. So we'll see what happens in a minute. Well, there we have it. They're inside the castle of Myth Drea'Voor. I'm going to be doing various dungeon sessions in there and also eventually get the way down to the caverns. There's a couple of skeletons up here just sitting around minding their own business, and that pretty much sums up our narrative section. Next week we will be getting into a new battle, and it's going to be just a slightly little bit different because I'm thinking of involving the old Periculo from season 5. But anyway, you'll know more about that if you watch it next week. Thanks for watching. Cheers.